Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here at Signature Esports. A pleasure it is to have you here live with us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube for the eNASCAR Racing Association Next Gen Series. Of course, brought to you by Ryco-Motorsports.com. And, of course, John Betlem Heating and Cooling. Go to johnbetlem.com and find out more about what's going on there. These guys finishing up qualifying really quickly here. Small, kind of a small field today, but they're out there ready to roll, trying to kind of finish off the series here at Las Vegas. Well, not finish off, but continue moving forward with the series here. And I tell you what, it's been exciting to watch these drivers go. It's an absolute insane mark for them to be able to get out here, run 100 laps, and just be as competitive as they are. Let's take a look at the starting grid for you here for the drivers. We talked about it being a small field. Dylan Beckman, the number 17, is going to be out there on the pole position. Chad Gunningsman's going to be there inside pole position on that front row here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Michael Sturgill Jr., the number 77, looking to try to repeat a win here with Justin Levine to the outside of him on the start of the race. Nathan Hall and Matt Kocher, they're all out there as well. Going to enjoy themselves. We're going to see which setup's going to be able to hold on to the field. We're going to see what drivers are going to be able to have that long stint, 80% fuel, the open setups here for some of the fastest drivers out there. And I tell you what, it's been absolutely just incredible, just incredible. So the 17 of the 4, they're going to pace this around here as we see the upper overlay right there. I'm going to try up a few different things here for the series. We do have our two different types of towers that we have here. We have a NASCAR ticker, and of course, I was able to start getting some of this stuff working, and it's been kind of nice. So, left side of your screen, you see the ENRA Next Gen Cup Series. Fantastic little thing going on right there. I do like it. I like it all. Terry, what's going on, brother? Good to see you out there. Terry Radford out there trying to cheer it up, have some Facebook fun. eNASCAR Racing Association Next Gen Cup Series. Always exciting, always good to see, and always fun to be a part of. Man, oh man. Just pulling up some of the season stats here for the series, for the leagues. The only driver with more than one win in the series is going to be Matt Kocher, the number 6 driver. He's going to be there starting the back. He usually bides his time and starts at the tail end of the field, tries to make sure his setup's where it needs to be, and then works it. We talked about him moving through the series and through the field over his own pace, but they don't count any of these drivers out when it comes to the way that they're going to be able to hold the car. We watched Las Vegas be a great track on iRacing last week, but I tell you what, competition is hot and heavy in here for these drivers. Michael Sturgill Jr., currently the points leader with 281 with one win. His average start is 5th, and his average finish is 6th. He's looking for a repeat win here as well. Gunningsman has a win in the series. Kocher 2 wins. That's 1, 2, and 3 in the series for the drivers. And right now, green flag is flying here. Las Vegas, 150 miles, 100 laps. And the draft is going to be absolutely super important for the drivers here. And it's already looking like that low line is going to be very, very, very... when I drove this past week, I did drive Las Vegas in the series. When I drove it, I found that the low line, being able to go full throttle in the Next Gen Series is it's very possible, especially for the first 15 laps. And then after that, you're trying to figure out what line you're going to really be pushing and trying to make that steering work for you. These next-gen cars so aero-dependent that it really, really focuses on how you're going to be able to work that wheel. Beckman, Gunningsman, Levine, Sturgill, that's going to be the running order for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kocher up a spot over Hall. Nathan Hall back there really trying to hold on. Let's go through some cockpit views here. Look how close to that bottom line he is. Just a feather on the 5th gear run right there. Not too free, not too loose. And able to take the bottom of that track very well. Up midline to the not quite even to the high side, not even running the traditional line, just defending the bottom very well. Justin Levine right behind the number 4. It runs his fastest lap of the race, 30.46, but Sturgill Jr. to his outside as they run down the bottom. Look at how much they're able to just roll through the corners in these cars. Kind of makes me curious to see what's going to happen when it comes to getting the actual physics of the car over the next couple of weeks. As more testing is done on the NASCAR side, how these eNASCAR next-gen Cup cars are going to be able to hold on to it. So 2022, these are the types of cars that you're going to actually see on the physical track, and we've been able to watch some great things happen with the rest of the field. Michael Sturgill Jr. falling back to 6th. Mr. Kocher is holding on to 4th, and so with a smaller field, it's really going to be able to dictate when these guys come to pit road, who's going to be able to hold on to the longest fuel strategy. And if you're out front, you're burning a lot more fuel, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Kocher to the outside right there to the 17. Drops in, runs more of a traditional line, gets an inside line run on the 17. Trying to pick up one more spot in that Toyota. 3 Fords, a Toyota, and 2 Chevys. That's what's going to be lining up the field right now. Gooning's been 11 100ths of a second off of the Ford, but I think that is just that's more than just an air pocket to the back of that car. That is all about what they're trying to roll through the corners. And I think the one might have it right. He's getting into the corner, letting the car drift up just a little bit and then work his way to the back bumper. So we're looking at Kocher here trying to lead Gooning's men out there. Let's let a couple of laps here. Mr. Justin Levine from Justin Levine Racing holding on to that 41 very, very, very nicely. It's going to be pedestrian, folks, but we're going to have 100 laps of fun here. I believe that's kind of what we're looking at. 4:41.1. The 8 has moved up the field just a little bit. Dylan Beckman and Michael Sturgill, the 77 and the 17, are just kind of holding those cars to the back. Sturgill does have a 30.5 on his record. That's his fastest lap of the race. Just trying to take it easy. 17 there taking it easy as well. This is going to come down to the long fuel strategy, and that's going to be where it's going to stick. Goonigsman, Levine, the number 1 of Kocher right there, and Hall, Beckman, and Sturgill, all of the drivers in the field. 8 laps in. Turn 3 super busy. Kind of a little bit of separation going on right here from the front 3 to the next 3. I wonder if that is just by design or if it's just the way that they're holding on to it. Pit strategy should work here somewhere in the realm of, I want to say 38 to 43 laps. I do believe somewhere on the 45 mark. They might be able to make it, depending on how they drive it, they might be able to make it all the way to 50. It might be a two pit stop kind of race, but we will see as they move around. At 4:41.1, the 8, the 17, and the 77 up there. Just a whole lot of fun. Tell me about your racing experience this week. Talladega on the official roster. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you have going on out there with the official series. I know that the next-gen cars are out there. I know that the C-Class, B-Class, and the A-Class are all at Talladega this week. So Super Speedway Racing, mind your I ratings. That's for darn sure. Make sure that you try to keep it as clean as possible. And remember that the B cars don't really shove as well, and don't push the pusher. I think that's my biggest advice I could ever give you. The trucks are usually my favorite to drive during Talladega or Super Speedway weeks. So that might be the case. Fastest lap of the race just ran by Michael Sturgill Jr. as he tries to take the inside. He bides his time, gets around the 8. Nathan Hall falling back to 6th, who started 5th. So we're seeing these drivers really work the throttle as the 77 drives his very, very nice and scary Chevy Camaro, the 2022 Chevy Camaro, all right there. Sturgill ran his fastest lap of the race, and then now just ran one of his slowest laps of the race. So from a 30.16 to a 30.62, Nathan Hall back to a 30.98. That was his last lap. Goonigsman out front. Just nice and easy. Justin Levine right behind him. 2 Fords leading over a Toyota. And it is absolutely a ton of fun. Top esports broadcast coming up for me here this Thursday for the Mid-Atlantic Super Safe. You talk about Super Speedway Racing. Well, I'm going to be helping out with Terry Radford and company over there at Top Esports this Thursday on their channel. So go check out their Twitch page, twitch.tv/top esport, TOPPESPORTS, and check out what we're going to be doing over there. I'd appreciate you if you did that for me, because you'll be able to catch me live over there this Thursday for a whole lot of fun, some Super Speedway Truck Series. And it's just exciting because next week we're going to have a whole lot of Super Speedway racing for our leagues Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So it's going to be absolutely a thriller to see. If you give them a follow for me, I appreciate that very much. So you can catch me live next week, or this week, this Thursday over there. Off tomorrow, got to build a cake and deal with some things that have been coming my way. That's for darn sure. Here's a look at the long front stretch here at Las Vegas. You see right where Barney the flagman stands up there. Barney Fred the flagman, as I call him. Right now, 0.8 of a second separating the front to the back of the field. As you see the 6 cars running in the race here, 15 of 100. Everybody now starting to run a more traditional line and carry into the corners quite nicely. The 1 of Kocher goes up front, up top, and allows the 17 of Beckman to take the inside. And Kocher is he might be back there trying to save. So there's the look at the long turns. It's been kind of nice to see. Las Vegas is one of my favorite. My gravel cams aren't working. I'm sorry about that, folks. Usually my gravel cams are like on point. They must have changed a few things here on the update. So I will get those fixed for Las Vegas, for any Las Vegas race that we got going on here pretty soon. So my apologies. 4 of Gunningsman falls back a little bit. Maybe try to save. Levine's going to lead now as the number 41 holds the ENRA Ford Mustang to the top, as actually now Dylan Beckman goes down to the bottom. So the pole sitter back out front, trying to hold on to it. Thank you to everybody out there. Give it a like and follow and all the shares. Much appreciation. Much love to you as well. 41, 17. And now Levine's going to fall back just a little bit as well. Sturgill's going to pick up that second spot to the inside. Maybe trying a few different things as these drivers work through the field. 18 of 100. It's going to be a quick race other than pit stops that we're going to see here. The Las Vegas 150 right now belonging to Dylan Beckman. The pole sitter, Michael Sturgill Jr., started third. He's going to be there in that second spot now. So the only driver off any kind of spots is going to be Chad Gunningsman, started second. So he kind of might just be sitting there relaxing for a little bit. It's always good to see everybody out there. Let's take a look and kind of see what you folks have been doing. Look at our insights and shares and everything that you folks have been doing out there. Much love, much appreciation. Mr. Justin Levine sharing it out there. Brian giving us a like. David Brandt giving us a like out there. Thank you very much for that. I just saw that happen. And then Justin Levine Racing. David Brandt sharing the stream. David Brandt sharing the stream out there as well. Appreciate you, Mr. Brandt. Thank you to everybody out there who follows and likes us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Signature Esports is the fantastic platform that we do here, and we like to be a part of everything that is racing, so thank you very much to all that are doing it. Beckman, Sturgill, Hall, Levine, Gunningsman, and Kocher all the way back to the back. Kocher, I think, is just biding his time. He's like, you know what, this is a long race. Let's just sit back, let's relax, let's chill out. Thank you very much, sir. Much obliged to you as well. Beckman, Sturgill, Hall, Levine, Gunningsman. Take a look at some stats for the drivers. I do like doing that. That's absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at, maybe some of the drivers' stats here. I normally kind of pop them up on iRacing, but we'll do it from what they have here. Start with the race leader at the moment, the number 17 A-Class driver, 3.38 license on the safety rating. They're in the A-Class, 1882 safety rating. And if this were an official race with the strength of field that we have, he would gain 129 I rating. 3 drivers in on pit road. It's going to be the Fords and the Toyota. So those guys are coming in and maybe splitting up the field for the final run in on 22. So they might come in, get their run in, get the next 40 laps in, and then do the same thing. That's a smart little scheme right there. I kind of like that. So Dylan Beckman leading out there. Michael Sturgill Jr., number 77 in second right there. Number 77 having a great drive right now, as he holds on to second, trying to make some things run for him. didn't get a chance. Here's Dylan Beckman's driver information on the bottom of your screen. There's the number 17. Fantastic DeWalt paint scheme on that Ford. I kind of dig it. Michael Sturgill Jr., 46.76 on the iRating, A-Class 4.49 driver here in the field. If he were to finish right where he is at, he would gain 36 iRating on that. Nathan Hall, the number 8, right behind him. Having a nice little drive. Scottsburg, Indiana native. He is going to be there in that number 8. If he were to finish today, he'd gain 77 on that 1279 iRating that he has. But he is an A-Class 3.52 driver. I tell you what, he's having a great drive off. Mr. Levine has the heaviest iRating in the, and we talked to him last week about what he has gained over, especially over the last year. 6,756 on the iRating. A-Class 499 driver there as he comes in. If this was an official race, well, he'd lose iRating. I think he'd have to finish in second to not lose anything. I think that's the way it's worked out so far. Chad Gunningsman right behind him, the number 4 car. They're drafting with Kocher right behind him. 48.04 on the iRating. 4.06 on the safety rating. The A-Class driver having a fantastic drive off. Matt Kocher on the backside. Last driver in the field at the moment. There he is, 53.74. A-Class 4.49 driver. Much appreciation to all these guys still running out here. Good stinking time, that's for darn sure. Beckman, Sturgill Jr., Hall, that's going to be top 3. Everybody else a lap down. Justin Levine a lap down right now. But they came in, they took some fuel. I believe they might have taken right side tires as well, because a 10.27 is going to be the time that those drivers had. You don't really necessarily need to take tires on your first stint, but they did. Jeff, thanks for following out there. Appreciate you very much. Mr. Jeffrey B951 following on Twitch. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. As you're watching the eNASCAR Racing Association, a little small field this week. I know that the NASCAR playoffs are going on right now. How do you think about the chances for Mr. Harvick? I'm a little worried about Harvick. Harvick needs to have a win or a really, really good finish because those Hendrick Motorsports guys are really kicking butt and taking names. Even though 2 of the drivers are still below the cut line right now, anything can happen over the next 2 races, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with those drivers. Denny Hamlin, of course, advancing to the round of 8, and then Larson and Kyle Busch having some good luck out there, sitting second and third in points. I think Larson needs one more race and a decent top 5 finish, and he would advance on points anyway. Kind of similar to what happened in the round of 16 or the round of 12. So we're going to see. Kind of similar to what we have seen in the round of 16. So the round of 12 is going to be absolutely insane. Dylan Beckman out front, 29 laps in. 77 to Sturgill, Hall right there as well. They're all just tightly compacted. Where are they on the track in comparison? Well, let's take a look. Blimp view here on the backstretch for the 41, the 4, and the 1. The 1 holding on to the back bumper, or trying to hold on to the back bumper. That draft right there between the 2 drivers. Wonder if he made an adjustment on his car, because the 41 and the 4 much closer to than to what you're seeing right there for the rest of the drivers. And Dylan Beckman and company are already around turn 2 onto the backstretch. And that is kind of what it looks like right there. The event to be, I kind of like the way it used to look when it came to the overhead cam, or the blimp cam. But, it is what it is. 17, 77, 8, 31 laps in. They're going to be coming into pit road here, I'm sure, within the next 5 or 6 laps. And it's going to be absolutely killer to see what kind of times, where they're going to end up, especially when it comes to the time that's being caught, because right now the gap between Justin Levine and Dylan Beckman, 36.24 seconds. Still need to get that lap back, but that's the gap between the drivers. And now Levine just ran a 30.62. Here's the last 5 lap times, bottom of your screen there. Mind you, Gunningsman's right behind him, and they're pretty much locked in a draft, but 30.624 for him on the last steps, and about half-second difference between Beckman and Justin Levine's time. So that's really playing a factor here on what's going to happen Levine catching about every 2 laps, or catching about a second over the drivers. So that might be what's going to happen. 17, looking like he's coming to pit road. So the top 3 in on pit road, slowing it down, trying to get down to good pit road speed. These drivers coming around going to get their lap back. And let's see if they can get in and off pit road at about the same time that these drivers have. The 41 of Justin Levine, Gunningsman, and Kocher, they have all most definitely split the field very nicely here. Good run for them as they come around. They're going to be up to speed. Beckman, Sturgill Jr., Nathan Hall, they have all entered into their pit stops. And so right now, Justin Levine crossing the stripe will pass them. He's going to take over the lead here on lap 33 as they carry around. And now the rest of the drivers taking 4 tires. And they're going to be coming off of pit road, getting back up to speed. And they're going to have a little bit of work to do to get themselves back into the draft of the 41-4. 177 in third now. 8 seconds the difference. So that's how much time has been gained by the 41-4 and the 1 during the green flag pit stop. So 32 laps is what Beckman, Sturgill, and Hall have ran. And now they're going to be out there trying to make the fuel strategy work for themselves. So trying to get up to speed, 10 seconds now, and falling as the 4 carries the line right behind the 41. Overhead look right here. You gotta love it. That's for darn sure. Sun setting on Las Vegas Speedway here. If you have not been to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, I highly encourage you to do so. It is an absolute gem of a track. I have been, and I enjoy it quite nicely. There's a look at the Ford Mustang in front. That's what the new 2020s look like. Frontline Esports on the lower quarter panel of that, right there below the sticker, the headlight sticker. And here's Justin Levine. He's got I like the license plate cover. I'm digging it. Let's take a look at the rest of the cars here. Here's Chad Gunningsman right behind. As the Michigan 22 right there on the Ford license plate. Let's take a look at the front of that car right here. Yeah, that's the top. There it is. Look how much that draft is super important. Can disrupt the those high spoilers. It makes me wonder if those spoilers are going to be that tall in this series when it comes to what they're going to be doing later on. There's a look at the car right there. Here's the pay-to-win Toyota Camry of the number 1, Matt Kocher right there. Still 10.2 seconds in gaining, or in slightly. He was slightly losing. Now he's gained a little bit. The drivers behind, Michael Sturgill Jr., Dylan Beckman, Nathan Hall, they're all trying their darndest to get back up there. There's a look from the top view of the number 1 car as you see the pay-to-win-setups.com number 1 in the mix. Sturgill Jr., there he is. There's his Twitch handle. Go give him a follow for me. www.twitch.tv/msturge. 2 G's. CS Designs on the back. We saw the front of this car just a little bit ago. Let's take a look one more time. As you see into the corner he goes. A scary Auto Sport. CS Designs, of course, on there. Dylan Beckman in the mix, trying to hold on. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a good catch-up right there. My clay clipped into the car. Shouldn't have done that one. Smeared off ice. He's got smeared off on that DeWalt paint scheme. Look at him go. Nathan Hall has the Warrior Racing on the back. That Chevy. He's trying to catch the 2 drivers right there. The number 8 holding on to 5-second difference to the drivers in front of him. So it might just be what he is looking for here. Just a moment to take some time to enjoy himself, and a good-looking Chevy ZL1 for the driver right there as he comes around and completes his lap. Lap 40 being as interesting as it can be, and now does look like the difference between Justin Levine and Sturgill, it's going to be about 0.2 of a second as the 41 comes across and leads another lap here. The 4 Gunningsman right behind her. The pole sitter is just just about 5 spots off with Mr. Sturgill. So they're going to be trying to work their way up to the front and get themselves back in the mix. Justin Levine, Chad Gunningsman, Matt Kocher, Michael Sturgill Jr., Dylan Beckman, Nathan Hall. All of those drivers, well, there they are. They're holding on to it. Levine's last lap, 30.95. Let's take a look at his last 5 lap times since we've been able to get these drivers working in here. And 30.952, 0.2 of a second difference on 40 to 41. Let's see what he has here on 42 as they come around to complete lap 42. Gunningsman right there on the back bumper. These 3 drivers are aero fast. But right now, the 4 almost to the inside. Midline run for the 41. Looks like the 4 might be able to almost take it away from him. But now the 41-4 and the 1 working together. 9 seconds, the difference between Sturgill. Here's the last 5 lap times from Sturgill as they come around. 30.768 is going to be the last time for the number 40 on lap 42, so 0.2 of a second difference. 31 flats for Justin Levine right now on this lap. We'll see what the difference is on Sturgill when he comes across the stripe. He's 9 seconds off of the race leader at the moment, 30.807, so still 0.2 of a second faster for that driver as they come around. The difference, let's take a look at the battle boxes. 1, 2, and 3, 8 seconds, 8 and 3/4 seconds. The difference between Justin Levine and Michael Sturgill, and that kind of shrinks just a little bit. Coming into turn number 3 and 4, 45 of 100. Now they will reassume the lead here very soon. 18.5 seconds back is Nathan Hall. Nathan Hall, I don't know if he made a setup change and kind of fell off pace, or maybe he might have lost the draft a little bit there. But his lap times running about 31, about a second off the pace at the moment, and that shows you how important the draft is in these cars. The 41, the 4, and the 1, they're battling. Working together and battling all at the same time. .46 of 100. Trying to make sure that we keep this interesting for you, folks. We do appreciate you getting out there and kind of telling us what's going on and what kind of things you folks are doing, and I just absolutely appreciate you. Ryko-motorsports.com. Get yourself some setups up there. Appreciate you very much. Also, you can go to johnbetlem.com, and if you're in the Rochester, New York area, make sure that you get out there. You can find out if you qualify for no-cost energy audit by John Betlem. Give him a call, 585-271-8888. That is johnbetlem.com to find out more information as well. Like I said, the Rochester, New York area, but they always give me a great insight to let you know it is about to be fall. The times are the air temperature is changing right now. So if you get an opportunity to call your local service provider, I want to make sure that you get out there and you definitely find out if you can get yourself taken care of for the next series, for the next season, because you got to change your air filters. You got to make sure that you get all that stuff looked at, because if you don't, you can find yourself getting hurt out there or hurting your air conditioning system. Right now, you're seeing the ticker scroll across your screen. You're going to see the last lap times for the drivers and the difference on lap times between the front 3 and the back 3. We're starting to catch up. Nathan Hall starting to level out his time on his last lap, so he's trying to get that 20-second difference just a little bit there. He's going to have a little bit more into it. 49 of 100 for the eNASCAR Next Gen Series, eNASCAR Racing Association. You can find their Facebook group out there on Facebook, so go give them a like and follow, or go join that group, find out more information. You want to drive in the series, well, they're going to have opportunities for you to do so. 41, 4, and the 1. Some clean drivers and a whole lot of fun for them. I'd appreciate you if you give everybody a like and follow. Do everybody. I mean, just go out there, find you some iRacers, find you some gamers, and watch their streams, donate to them, show them some love. They would appreciate that if you did. I appreciate you folks doing so as well. So it's just a great time to be a part of not just iRacing, but also just being one of the streamers out there that likes to help influence some things. Gap between the drivers now. Let's take a look here on the top of your screen. It looks like 7.5 seconds. Sturgill is leading that second pack as Michael Sturgill Jr. tries to carry the 17 with him. Dylan Beckman right behind him, and they're trying to push what they can, trying to close that gap down. 7.25 seconds now as they come back to the stripe. Reminder to everybody, you get an opportunity to get out there and do so. Oh, and also, if you have not updated your OBS, I will tell you there's a pretty nice update. It gave me some new options. Here it is. Give us a follow on Twitch if you've got an opportunity. Twitch.tv/signature esports. That is going to be the platform for you. Much love if you do that for me. And then, of course, Facebook.com/signature esports. Absolutely awesome of you if you could do that. Give us a like and follow. Share the streams out there. Share all the streams if you're in it or not in it. Hopefully you can enjoy it and be a part of it. And then youtube.com. I don't have one built for YouTube. I had one built for YouTube, but it was too big of a file, so I have to get back in and make sure that I take care of that. But youtube.com/signature esports is our channel. And we go live Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for darn sure. And then we're going to be a part of the Top Esports Reminder this Thursday. You're going to check me out over there. I'm going to go and broadcast with the fine folks over there for the Mid-Atlantic Thunder Truck Series. Super Speedway Racing for those guys over there, for those drivers, those guys and gals. And I'm looking forward to being a part of that. We're going to be looking forward to seeing what some other co-commentators are going to be out there as well. So we're going to have some fun with those folks and try to branch out, try to be a part of the community just a little bit more than what we're normally a part of. Levine came to pit road on 21, and if we look at the pit strategy right there on the bottom right of your screen, all of those drivers, Levine came in on 21, so he's got 34 laps on the tires right now. Goodingsman, Kocher as well. Looks like Sturgill, Beckman, and Hall, 23 on theirs at the moment. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing that and what they're going to be able to do there. iRacing.com to get yourself started with that fantastic subscription to this. If you want to be doing this right here, you need to get in there and get yourself an A-Class license. Or if you want to just be part of the league, you can just join, make sure that you have the car, make sure you have the tracks that they're running in that season, and do so. It does have a subscription. You do have to buy some of the things that on there, some tracks and some of the cars, but they do have a lot of free stuff on there that gets you started. So go to iRacing.com, make sure that you get there and get yourself started. You can find a pretty decent wheel and pedal setup out there. Your system doesn't really have to have that much curtail to run it. There are some things that everybody likes to prefer. If you want better graphics and you want other things like that. So having a decent system is always good. But you can run it pretty much on a decently inexpensive system. Josh, what's going on out there, buddy? Mr. Josh Master out there. Appreciate you, brother. Levine, Goodingsman, Kocher, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 7.5 seconds. So Mr. Sturgill, his lap times have kind of leveled off, and so he and the number 17 right now have kind of just relaxed and chilled out. So we're going to be looking to see what they're going to be doing here, as we know that since the lap times have kind of leveled out over the last 20 laps, the last 26 laps, it does look like, 27 laps, Levine, he and Gooniesman in that little three-pack have started to pull just slightly away. Mr. Barlow, go get him, Justin. Yeah, it does, but I'm doing all right, Josh. Good to see you. Of course, I'm just out here streaming like I normally do. And sometimes just having a short field will just make the race go by a lot faster. But people, I had some commitments out there. I know the Coca-Cola series is going on this evening as well. So there's probably some drivers that are over there working with those fine folks. And just trying to see what's going to happen. 41-4 and the 1 coming to pit road. They're all back in, so they're down to speed and below the 55 miles an hour it requires to be on pit road. Levine, a little heavy on the throttle there. Sturgill takes back over the lead. Beckman's going to be there with him. Chevy and a Ford out front now. Nathan Hall to his pit stop. He was in on pit road, I do believe. I don't know if he parked it or if he's just kind of sitting there. So he's going to be a couple of laps down as we speak. They'll get back to it. Hopefully next week they'll have some fun. Maybe some super speedway racing. I know that Ken will probably would appreciate any more drivers that want to come in here. 77 comes down pit road with the 17. So everybody hitting their green flag pit stops. Levine and Koch are coming out there as well. Everybody taking 4 tires. So Sturgill and last time took 4 tires. Levine, Kocher, and Gunningsman took 4 tires as well. So they're going to be getting back up to speed here as Michael Sturgill and company hit pit road. So the 17 and the 77 are going to hit their pit stop. 17 is your pole sitter. So Dylan Beckman trying to get himself back there and roll through the gears. Justin Levine coming back up to speed out of 4. Maybe an opportunity, 62 of 100. This might be close to the last pit stop for, I want to say for everybody. 38 laps to go here for the drivers, and they can get 40 out of their cars. 39 laps as they complete this lap right here. Kocher out to the outside, trying to make that outside line his best friend, Sturgill. And Beckman getting up to speed, 6.5, now 7 seconds. The difference is they get back up to speed, trying to get themselves into the mix here and work their way to the front, because 7, almost 8 seconds, the difference is going to be a lot to try to make up here as the front 3 complete their 63rd lap of the race. They came in on 61 lap pressure tires for Sturgill and Beckman. They all came in and got that. So 9 seconds the difference to make up. I know they were trying to come into pit road and they were trying to have a better entrance here, trying to get themselves back out right behind these drivers. So pit strategy really worked for the front 3. As that'll be the battle at the end, I do believe. 9.6 seconds, the difference between Sturgill and Dylan Beckman. Nathan Hall 1 lap down, as we're seeing here. He's coming out there. He ran a 31.78 on his last lap. He needs a drafting partner like you wouldn't believe. Kocher runs the fastest lap of the race last time by 30.15. He bests out Mr. Michael Sturgill this last time. So Air Holland took us. 30.17. Gunningsman and Levine run their fastest laps of the race this last time. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see what's going to happen here as they start closing down the laps. This time by it to be 35 laps to go whenever they get back to the field. And we'll move the racing up there for you. Here's your gap times between the drivers. And we'll take a look at the last lap times. We'll make sure that we put that right there. Last lap time for all of the drivers. Levine, 30.229. Gunningsman right there on the tail. Beckman and Sturgill, 30.5, 30.3s. 30.4s that time by, so a little bit gained. But 10 seconds still a lot to make up as they come around here, try to make it work. Here's what they're driving here on the top of your screen. Levine a Ford, Gunningsman a Ford, Kocher a Toyota, Beckman a Ford. There are 2 Chevys at the tail end of the field, trying to get themselves back in the mix here as they roll through. And the best times for each driver, you're going to be able to look at it here on the top of your screen. Levine a 30.172. Gunningsman absolutely ties that, blasts that away with Kocher has a 30.154 as the number 3 car in the mix. 30.27. Sturgill 30.16. Hall 30.274. Absolutely killing it out there with the lap times. Taking everybody out there who is continuing to roll and run through all of the fun with us here. It's been a little easy. It's an easy race. No cautions. A little bit of fun. And it's crazy to see how pit strategy plays such a big factor here. It's a big, big, big key in all of the driving. Justin Levine trying to win and try to make it One heck of a win, that's for darn sure. Liking some comments out there. Appreciate you very much. Please comment. Please chat it up. I like hearing you folks out there do what you do, and absolutely insane. Remember, JohnBetlem.com. You just saw it right there. eNASCAR Racing Association sponsor. If you're in the Rochester, New York area code 585-271-8888. They can only grow if you get out there and give us a like for us. And they've got a Facebook page, too. They are an A+ accredited business with the Better Business Bureau, so make sure that you go and check them out. 80 years in service, too. They started in 1941, and they have just approached that 2021 season, so there it is. 80 years of customer satisfaction. John Betlem Heating and Cooling, electrical insulation. They do all kinds of stuff. So they've got generators, commercial air quality. They have services in air quality, blown-in attic insulation, energy audits, energy-efficient solutions, and, of course, hot water heaters. Make sure that you do that. They do deal with natural gas, standby backup generators, and generator maintenance and repairs. That's absolutely cool. Just looking over their website, they got a lot of good information up there, so make sure that you take a look at that. They got their team on the main part of that page. Ryco-motorsports.com, absolutely killer company to be a part of. We appreciate Ken and all the guys over, and all the staff over there that build setups, do the paints, and just great people. Just everybody's just great people. You gotta have good people out there, not only backing you up, but also giving yourself some great exposure. They do have some awesome drivers, and it's always good to see these folks do it. I know Ken had he's had some personal stuff going on here recently that has pulled him away from the racetrack, but it's always good to see him out there and enjoying himself. 77-17, the battle for fourth is between these two drivers, so we'll see what they're doing. 11.3 seconds. It just, Levine, Gunningsman, and Kocher, they're just pulling away. Their last laps are pretty similar to Sturgill and Dylan Beckman, but they are truly having the drive of their life. They came in at the right time, came in at lap 21, and then came in at the end of their pit cycle there on 60, and now they're going to be out there running the rest of the field. They're going to run all 40 laps to the end. Sturgill and Beckman doing the same thing, so 74 of 100 for the drivers. Great racing for them all. I'm going to take a vocal pause, take a drink of water. I'll be right back with you in a second. Hopefully you folks are giving a share out there. Do that for us. We love and appreciate it. Isn't it interesting, the new look at and I wonder if the camera's going to be the same way in the new next-gen cars. You can see on this wide-angle camera, this is looking at Michael Sturgill Jr. here. You can see what he sees on his dash right there, the RPMs that he's running all the way over, and that big safety piece that they have in between the steering wheel and the display. It doesn't look like it's that much, but if you look at the cockpit, driver point of view, that's the difference. Only 6 cars today. Yes, Moscow. It's what they did. A lot of the other drivers had the commitments. Coca-Cola Series going on. There's a lot of things with that. So, every league's in competition with every league, especially if some of the drivers are involved in multiple series, especially the Coca-Cola Series. So, quite possible that those drivers are being featured in that. So absolutely killer of them to get out here. Yeah, just the way it goes. It happens. It does happen. I'm all right with it, though, because it's been clean racing. 21 laps to go here in the eNASCAR Racing Association. The Las Vegas 150 has been absolutely just peaceful and enjoyable, and these drivers just kind of holding on to their line. 41, 4, and the 1. All 3 of those drivers came in and had a different pit strategy early on. It was able to give themselves the advantage over the 77 and the 17. They're all running great lap times, but it is one of those things that you kind of just have to see what's going to happen at the end. Nathan Hall, I believe Nathan decided he was just going to park. He's going to finish 6th today in today's race. That'd be the last driver there. Hey, everybody's guaranteed. You're absolutely right. Everybody's guaranteed a top 10. The points are going to be really good. It's going to move them up in the standings. There are lots of other drivers in the series. It's just only going to pad some totals here. So hopefully some racing is going to be able to hopefully some of the drivers will be able to come back next week and they'll be able to figure it out. It's all just going to be a phenomenal race. Ooh, Chad's having a little bit of net. Don't have any net issues there, Chad. Don't do it. Do it, brother. Hold on to it. 41, 4, 1, 77, 17. It's going to be the 5 drivers left in the field as Gunningsman holds on to 4th right here. Dylan Beckman was the pole sitter, and after the off pit cycles right there, these 2 drivers just haven't been able to get themselves back up front, and lap times have kind of leveled themselves off. 13 seconds the difference now. When they came off pit road, that was 9 seconds. So since lap 61, they've lost about 4 seconds to the leaders. They finally got back up to speed, closer to 3 seconds. They were about 10 seconds off by the time it was all said and done after green flag pit cycles. Brad's gonna be back next week. Had to pull the motor out of a race car tonight. Man, don't do that, Brad. It's all worth it, though. Mr. Seuss is out there. Good to see you, brother. Always enjoy watching you drive and enjoy yourself as well here in the Next Gen Series. Next week, they'll be in Talladega, so there'll be some super speedway racing next week for the eNASCAR Racing Association. Always a pleasure to have these drivers in here. I know that some of the folks are doing some other stuff. You know, we all occasionally have to take a break. We all have things that we have to do. There's life. We all have lives. We all have lives. I'm here with you every week. That's what I'm being brought in for. I'm here to keep everybody company and tell you the story of how these drivers are running around this big circle. And I like it. And it's a lot of fun. Bigger circle next week. 41, 4, 177, 17, and the 8. There's your Powerball numbers for the week. Go out there and get her done. Appreciate you very much. I'm really going to be looking at adding some emojis to Facebook. I want that checkered flag emoji in there. It's going to be fun. Levine steering very nicely. Has led the most laps this race. And right now not giving it up. Gunningsman in the number 4 car is kind of relaxed. Kosher back there relaxed as well. Now Kosher might have an opportunity here. He could possibly get the 3rd win of the series. He's the only driver, I do believe, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to verify this just to be sure. I'm going to pull up their season stats here. He is the only driver with the multiple wins in the series. So the number 1 car back there, Mr. Kocher right there, has 2 wins in the series. And is facing good points battle here with the top 3. Sturgill Jr. and, of course, Chad Gunningsman right there. Sturgill and Gunningsman both have a win in the series. Brad, you're in fourth. Your points are in fourth, man. 268. Of course, seeing you get back here, you're still searching for your first win as well. Justin Levine looking for his first win of the series. So that number 1 spot belonging to the number 41. Still looking for a win here. And with 12 laps to go, there is opportunity, but that number 4 car still looking for his. He can get a second win out of this as well. Absolutely kicking it. eNASCAR Racing Association, Ryco-Motorsports.com, iRacing.com, John Betlem Heating and Cooling. I do use SDK Gaming. You see them up at the top right of the screen. SDK Gaming is my preferred choice of streaming software when it comes to overlays and intervals and just everything that I can do with this system. They make it so much easier for me. So I do my hats off to those folks over there, and my hats off to iRacing for having a platform that allows us to do this. 11 laps to go, and not much in the way of change. I'm still waiting to see if anybody behind the number 41 here is going to be able to push the spectrum. Let's see what happens. 14.8 seconds the difference between Levine and Sturgill. Make that 15 seconds now as things have just kind of tight. And the thing about Sturgill and Dylan Beckman in the number 17, they really do need. They just need that third car to be able to run the same speeds that the 41 and the 4 and the 1 are running. That 3-pack is it's like these are very air dependent, just like the trucks. Cup cars, Xfinity cars, you can utilize the draft. You can need the draft for a little while, but after a while, after about 10, 15 laps on your tires, it's all about drivability. And right now, the 41, the 4, and the 1, utilizing that 3-car advantage, they've been able to stack up some time over the 77 and the 17 as they run through here. You can almost draft around this track with 3/4 throttle. Speaking of which, I would kind of want to see what's going on behind the. Let's cockpit view the number 4 here. See what kind of RPMs he is running and compared to the race leader. Here out of the throttle, just a little bit into the corner. Back in at 5th gear all the way. There is no other way here, and I wonder if it's just going to be tough to pass. Is it tough to pass when it comes to getting around this track? Levine, Gunningsman, that's Gunningsman right there. Let's see what's going on with Mr. Kotcher behind him, the number 1 car, 5th gear. He's out of the throttle. That's the first time I've actually really heard the throttle. He's getting out of the throttle right there, almost to the inside of the 4 car. And Toyota, nothing to lose. Only manufacturer out there. It's a single manufacturer. Sturgill Jr., only Chevy left in the field that's running. The 1 looks like he might be able to use that nose weight to get himself around these cars. He's right there. And but I bet Justin Levine's pretty close to full throttle around this track. We'll take a look. Or as close as he can. 8,200. That's the difference when you're leading over the cars behind you. That draft's super important. So his is all about acceleration into. 5 laps to go here for the eNASCAR Racing Association as you watch Justin Levine still lead here and trying to separate himself as they come around. 17/100ths of a second, the difference between the number 4 and the 41. The 1 right there in the mix. So the top 3 cars still holding on to the great run that they have had, being able to find themselves on a different pit cycle than the 77 and the 17 and the 8, which allowed them to really step into the gap that they have. 16.8 seconds between the 77 and the 17. There's the 1 to the inside. Kotcher looks like he was trying to go to Gunningsman there. Quarter-second lead as Justin Levine starts to pull out front. There's a little bit of fun going on there. 1 drives into the corner here, trying to get to the back bumper of the 4. Now almost half-second difference. Gosh, I hardly ever see the one car have any net issues. He just blinked for me there for the first time. 41 for 3 laps to go here. And a little bit of clipping on my end, too. It might be my... Hopefully, it's not my end. Don't do that. We don't like that. Down the backstretch here at Las Vegas, turn 3 and turn 4. 4 looking like he's been kind of just riding behind the 41 here. Makes me wonder if the teammates are going to be able to hold on to it, or is the 4 going to go to the outside? 2 laps to go. There's the 1 of Kocher behind. Now they are bumper to bumper as they come in. The 1's going to be there midline down to the line's going to maybe cross over the 4 here. Bump draft to the 4, trying to protect the line here. 41 for 1. That's the battle between the 3 drivers. Sturgill and Beckman there in the back, trying to hold on to it. It's about to get interesting. White flag waves, the 4 and the 41 side by side on the back, onto the front stretch into turn 1. The 4 trying to make a pass on the outside to the 41. The 1's going to be there. 41 there side by side with the, oh man, 41 trying to carry on the backstretch. Does look like the 41 is going to have the inside line, but the 4 is going to be able to carry the more heavy speed to the outside. The 1's going to be right there behind. So 41 of Justin Levine pulling backwards. Chad Gunningsman is going to come across that stripe. And what a great last lap pass for the lead there. Kocher finishes in second, Levine in third, and Gunningsman has his second win of the season. What a great little last lap pass, the 77-17 coming across the stripe, finish their race. There it is, 77, Sturgill Jr. in fourth, Dylan Beckman in fifth. He's going to lock it down. And Nathan Hall in on pit road. He's going to finish in seventh. What a great little race it was right there. Appreciate everybody watching along with me. Those 100 laps, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Chad Gunningsman, he might come down and just park it, or he's going to celebrate, one of the two. Race results on your screen right there. It should be here at least. Let's take a look. The difference between the top three? Not much. Or 41 going to go out there and celebrate together. Justin Levine, Chad Gunningsman having a decent race, and maybe going to park it out and celebrate. The 4 has a great race, and that was a great last lap pass. Let's take a look. Here's the white flag here. As the 4 gets into that, let's get rid of those. So he goes to the outside here before the start, pretty much right there when the white flag was coming out, right across the start-finish line. He's there to the outside. And the 1 trying to utilize both lines of drafting here to the 4 and the 41. And just able to hold the midline, carry a little bit of extra speed on the heat, and he had already been pulling that speed. The 1 able to kind of draft him up to the outside, able to carry that speed, and that's where they finish. Great little race there, a little battle at the end. Nice job. As they celebrate, there's the 4. Let's go and talk to these folks. Let's see how their race went, and we'll do that real quick. As kind of just gonna enjoy it. I just like the fact that they get out there and they have some fun. That's for darn sure. Always good to see folks out there. Let's do that. Let's see. Do we want to? You know what? I think they're all in the. They are. Let's see if I can jump in here real quick and just talk to everybody at once. You're all in one channel. This makes it easier for me. Guys, you got a copy in there?
Yeah, we got you.
All right. Guys, I know it's a small field, but early advantage to take that early pit stop. It kind of worked in your favor to be able to put that extra distance on Sturgill and Beckman. Kind of walk me through your race, and we'll start with Chad. Congratulations on the race win here. Just kind of walk us through what was going on there and how the setup kind of changed over. Just give me some brief stuff.
Yeah, so racing was pretty interesting. It's basically like running a Dega race with a little bit of handling coming to play in the corners. So that first run, I think me, Justin, and Matt had got out to a 1-2-3, and we kind of just felt like we were pulling the other 3 along. So our strategy was basically pit, break the draft, and then put time on them the rest of the race. So good quality kind of teamwork and team run to get a 1-2-3 finish.
Something I wanted to touch on as well. There at last lap, you had a good run there to the outside. You come to the white flag. You had already decided that you were going to move up the track and try to get yourself to the outside of Justin there. Was the midline kind of the preferred line? Should it have been the preferred line all along, or is that just kind of the strategy playing its factor here?
I think the bottom was the line to be in. I think definitely around the middle line, it's your full throttle anyway, so the added distance just adds time. I didn't think Matt would follow me. I thought he would go to Justin and I'd probably finish third, but didn't quite happen that way. I just figured I at least had to try it in Justin, but it just kind of sucks after leading the whole race, working well with him, and then having to come down to something like that when we worked so well together all race.
He's a traitor.
Well, you're searching for your first win, Justin, and it seemed like you were. Of course, you lead the most laps here. It's a great points day for you, but kind of walk us through what was going on there at the end. Being that it was draft dependent here, would it have made a better benefit there if Matt had kind of dropped himself down there, or would maybe try side drafting? I mean, I understand the physics of these cars really well because they really haven't really adjusted them to the point of being so detrimental on every piece of weight issue there. But that huge spoiler kind of makes a big difference to each of those cars. So if the one car's there, you win. If not, then then you're stuck to the inside. It just seemed like that. Am I correct in that?
Oh, exactly. Soon as Chad went up, it was like I had a parachute. Wherever Matt was going to go was going to be the side which line that was going to go fast. But proud of Chad. The three of us, including Matt, we did a great job executing our pits, and we had our own little battle.
And you did. It was great to watch. And Matt, you did exactly what I always tell everybody that you do. Even though it was a smaller field today, you just start at the back, figure stuff out, get yourself in the mix, and then you worked yourself there. Another top 3 finish for you. I'm talking to you every week and saying pretty much the same thing. You figure out the racetrack and you find yourself there in the top 3. You've got you're the only driver now, except for the 4, that you two both share multiple wins in the series for the year. And is that just a testament to just figuring your setup out, making the adjustments and running forward, or is it just kind of it's not lady luck? It's there's some skill involved here. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think like tonight there was a lot of having friends out on the track. It wasn't luck, it wasn't skill. It was just about having friends, because you need. If I didn't know when they were going to pit, I was in trouble. So they told me when they were pitting, we all stuck together, and then we were able to pull away from the other guys. So I think that's what it was more of tonight. It was more of a friends than it was luck or skill, because, I mean, I was flat out the whole run behind them and hoping at the end of the race there I was going to be able to split them 3 wide, but I wasn't able to. But I was able to get second, though. It sucks for Justin. He led the most laps, though.
I was looking forward to seeing a 3. I thought maybe there was going to be a 3 wide just for the picture. You know what I mean? But it was still a great race. I enjoyed watching you guys here. I know that's a small field. There's a lot of things going on out there. Brad says, he was taking apart an engine. He had to miss tonight. There's a few other drivers. The Coca-Cola series is doing their thing, and there's a lot of things going on that we know that we're trying to get these folks back in here and make sure that they know that it's all about racing and having a good time. But next week is Super Speedway week for you guys. It's Super Speed week all week long here for iRacing. But you guys do the week after. You drive that track the week after. So this week, figure out your setup, figure out how to drive. Next week, it's going to be about teamwork again, I do believe.
I believe it will be too.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to let you go through all of your sponsors, and I'll let you. We'll start with 1, 2, and 3. So, Chad, go for it, and let you give your shout outs out there, and then we'll work our way down, and I'll let you guys go for the night. Thank you very much for letting me jump in your channel here real quick and let you guys get in the final say.
Yep. So I want to thank everybody from Frontline Esports. We definitely had a fast car. We'll definitely bring a fast one next. We get Talladega and try to get another one there, being that I won there last time, and me and Justin had a 1-2 finish. So putting a lot of work for next week. So I want to thank everybody up front line, and then I want to thank Justin for working so well with me again tonight, just like we did last week or last week at Dagan. What we'll do next week, and then I want to thank Matt for working us with as well.
Appreciate you, Matt. Go for it, brother.
I gotta thank the guys that pay to win. I mean, their setups every week I use, and then I just tweak them for the weather and the fuel difference here. I gotta thank Brad Souza, as always, for sponsoring my way into this league. I gotta thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast, and I gotta thank Frontline Esports for working with me. I mean, I don't want to be like Michael was this race. It sucks that he was left out to hang. I mean, he had Dylan with him, but 3 cars was the majority, and that's what needed to stay up front this week.
I did see that. Yeah, it was. I did comment that toward the end of the race too. I was like, if the 3 cars are what pulled you guys away, they came at a lap later and weren't able to get that catch. So you needed 3 cars to be able to keep up, and I believe if they had another car, they might have been able to track you down a little bit. But still a great race nonetheless. And Sergio and Dylan Beckman, they did a great job. They did hold on to it, and they had a great run right there. Justin, it's your time, man. I appreciate you as well.
God, thank you. Everything you do with the broadcast, I love going back and watching it. You do such a great job. Got to thank everybody at Frontline for putting all the work into this car all week long. And congratulations to Chad for getting win number 2. And I got to thank Matt for helping us and sticking with us with our game plan.
Seemed like it worked to everybody's advantage. Congratulations, gentlemen, on the top 3 finish. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Yep, thank you.
See you there.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody out there as well. Ryan, hopefully we were able to get that in just a moment ago when it came to talking about the field. They had a bunch of drivers and just life commitments. We've had some NASCAR drivers that were in here as well. They had to take care of some real life racing. There's just life happens, and sometimes there are some bigger money on the line, and in other leagues or in other series that only require them to drive every so often. So that's kind of where they're at. That's kind of what was going on there. But they'll be back at it again next week. Talladega is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing the drivers out there this week. Remember that Thursday I'm going to be with Top Esports for the Mid-Atlantic Truck Series. So we're going to go over there and help call some races and meet some new folks and do all kinds of stuff. So, but remember, Signature Esports is the place to be. Give us a like, follow on all the platforms. Much love and appreciation. Chad Goonigsman gets his 2nd win of the series of the season, and it was a good race. It was, and this is what it takes to have a good team and to have good spirits out there. You get out there, you race, and keep going, keep moving, and next week, I look forward to seeing what these guys are going to bring to Talladega. Folks, I appreciate you. I love you. And hopefully you're going to get out there and have a great time because, without you, we wouldn't be who we are. So thank you very much to everybody out there. And we look forward to seeing you here in a couple of days on Top Esports. Go to twitch.tv/Top Esports. Thank you to Ryko-Motorsports.com. Thank you to John Betlem Heating and Cooling. Thank you to iRacing for all that they do. And thank you to all the drivers that compete in all the series that we broadcast for. We appreciate you. Thank you to Ken Byron out there. And, we appreciate everybody. We love and appreciate you all the time. I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to love you. Say it 3 times fast, and it just gets even better. Thank you, everybody, for what you do. And we look forward to seeing you very soon. If I don't see it, I always say it. Have a good afternoon, good evening, and a good morning.